Hey, friends. Happy Monday. Happy, I guess, first day of the work week. All right. So we are live tonight. Let me open this right here so I can see who is coming in. All right. So it is a lot going on in entertainment and celebrity news. And I was like, what better time for us to get together and discuss some of these stories? The first thing I want to do is begin with the little life update. I am so happy to see a new week. As many of you know, last week was a little rough for your girl. Last week, I had a full meltdown crash out. I believe it was Thursday. I had a full meltdown crash out. As many of you know, I interviewed the legendary actor Ernie Hudson. And we had one of the most amazing conversations that I believe I have ever had with anyone recently, definitely recently. And I didn't have a good feeling about the interview afterwards, because typically when I interview people, whomever the third party that sets up the interview, they come to me, they say, hey, do you want to interview this person? And I'm like, heck yeah. And then I interview the person, they provide the Zoom link and all this other good stuff. So I put myself in a place of vulnerability when I do that, because they are providing everything. The Zoom link, after the interview is done, then I have to wait for them to actually give me the interview. Long story less long, I received an email. Sorry, y'all, I got to clean my glasses. I forgot to clean my glasses. I started freaking out when I never got the interview, because usually I get it right after the interview is done. So I went on Facebook because I had a lot of anxiety, and I was like, friends, I feel like something ain't right, because I have not got this video yet of this interview. And I think the reason why this particular interview meant so much to me is because, number one, it's Ernie Hudson, one of the original Ghostbusters. We talk about L.C. Duncan from The Family Business. This man has been in over 70 TV shows and films over the years. He's been in the business for over 40 years, I believe. 40 years. Just a legend, right? There's some people that we can throw legend on because they've done some pretty legendary things, but then there are real life legends. And Ernie Hudson is a real life legend. And we had one of the most amazing conversations. He talked about everything from battling cancer to how he stays fit. Okay, long story less long, I never got the interview. Matter of fact, I received an interview saying for some reason Zoom never recorded this interview. And I'm going to be fully transparent with y'all. I crashed out. I could muster up enough energy to get online and let y'all know that the video, just like my gut was telling me that the video didn't exist. And after that, I literally broke down crying, and I cried all day long. I cried myself to sleep. I believe when I woke up, I had to take an aspirin because I had like a splitting headache. And after I woke up, I just didn't have it in me to work. I think I felt defeated again. And for those of you who have been following me and you've been an ICC friend for some time, you know that I have already been struggling with the business. And I just felt like this was another, I don't know. I felt like I kind of got my footing and I was like trying to make strides, and I just got tripped up and just fell on my face again. So I basically fell apart on Thursday. And Thursday, either it was Wednesday to Thursday or Thursday to Friday. Like, that's how down bad I was. I don't even remember what day it was, but no, it was Thursday. It was Thursday that I fell apart. And then because I did the interview on Wednesday, it was Thursday that I fell apart. And when I finally kind of got myself together and got my, like, just not even got myself together, when I finally woke up from the cry nap, because you know them be some good naps though. Them be some good naps. But when I finally got myself together after crying myself to sleep, I just started watching Beauty in Black. Let me tell you something, Tyler Lontavious Perry. Beauty in Black pulled me out from a dark, dark place. If you have not watched Beauty in Black season 2, if you have not watched Beauty in Black, the first season, go on and do that. Now, let me tell you, it's some top tier N-word TV. And I'm talking about deep N-word TV. But baby, it is entertaining. It is some shenanigans and top tier tomfoolery. But season 2, I wrote like a semi review of it. It's more like a recap because I was trying to be careful not to ruin it for people who hadn't seen it yet. But I wanted people to know like it is good enough to take the time to watch it. And once I woke up from my cry nap, I just turned on the TV and I started watching Beauty in Black. And y'all, I was eating them episodes just like this, back to back to back to back. And I really didn't have like the gumption or the will to do anything else. So I literally was up until 3:00 Friday morning. I ate that whole series in one sitting. I mean, back to back to back episodes. And I didn't, a lot of times when something is real, real good, the first season, it's real, real good because it's your first time seeing it. It's really, really good because it's your first time, like kind of digesting it. But I am happy to say season 2, second verse was good as the first, if not better. They upped the ante on the time. They just upped the ante. And the way Mallory be chewing Roy up. I didn't even know that there was something known as black tar heroin. And some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. I had no idea that black tar heroin existed. I don't know if this is something Tyler Perry made up in his universe. But man, that show pulled me out of a very dark place on Thursday night going into Friday morning. So if you have not watched Beauty in Black season 2, I implore you to go ahead and hop into them first 8 episodes because I'm already impatiently waiting on the next set because it's always in 2 parts. So we already got the first part. Now I'm impatiently waiting on the second part. But while I appreciate Tyler Perry for Beauty in Black, we're going to circle back around because I want to talk about Tyler Perry a little later. I don't even want to jump into all that right now in the beginning. What I do want to do is start this show off by showing love to Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford. Y'all, I stayed up Saturday night trying to watch this fight, right? Because JB is my husband, for those of you who may not know. JB and I, one of the things that really connected us when we first started dating was our love for boxing. Y'all, I used to love me some boxing, okay? Like the Winky Wrights and all the way back to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson used to come out and do like this and knock an N-word out in 3 seconds. Yes, Mr. Whooping Feet. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I was like, I want to tune into this fight. Now, the one thing about boxing, if you watch boxing, you got to deal with undercards. And sometimes the undercard is just as amazing as the main fight. And then other times you just got to sit through it and wait. And I understand that the fight was in Las Vegas because, my son lives in Las Vegas now. I don't know if I gave y'all that life update, but my son now lives in Vegas. So he's super hyped because he all up in the mix. But being on the East Coast, because that's where I'm at, I'm down here in Georgia. I ain't on that type of time. And I'm talking about, I think that's Pacific time for my West Coasters. Why are they just making their way to the ring like almost 1 o'clock in the morning? By the time Terrence and Canelo got to that ring, I was pissed off. I had a whole attitude. Number one, I'm fighting for my life to stay awake because I had already stayed up all night Thursday going into Friday, and I never caught up on my sleep really, really good on Friday night. So I am fighting for my life, and I want to watch this fight. I finally just said, listen, I'm going to go upstairs and lay in the bed and watch this fight. So I'm just going to say I woke up about the 6th round, but I woke up in enough time to see Bud do his MFing thing. And I am so happy for him. And I am so proud of him because the way he carried himself throughout this entire situation, because, you know, we had Bud back, but everybody wasn't rocking with Bud the way I feel like folks should have been rocking with Bud, because Canelo is Canelo. We're not going to act like Canelo ain't that boy. But there are a lot of people who just ain't know. And I'm not going to lie to kick it. I wanted Bud to win, but I was just like, I don't know. I just don't know. But once Bud started throwing them things in that ring, and he was sticking and moving, and he was really, really good on his feet and all that other stuff, I was like, yeah, he is very, very poised to go ahead and take this fight. And he made it look like a masterclass. Like, that was the most beautiful boxing match or performance from a boxer that I have seen in a very long time. So congratulations to Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford. And the last thing that I want to say about him is that there are winners and there are champions. And Bud is truly a champion. Did y'all see that video of him returning Canelo's like personalized belts to him in front of his family, in front of his wife, and in front of his daughter? That was sincerely and truly and honestly a total class act. So there are winners and there are champions. And Bud, you are truly a champion, because that was so freaking fantastic to watch you do that. All right. So now, with that being said, today when I got online, usually when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I thank the Lord for allowing me to see another day. And I say a little prayer and I ask him to make my efforts fruitful, because, you know, as of late, that ain't really been what it's been being. So usually, depending on like how tired I am, or if I stayed up too late the night before, I will just grab my phone and I'll start scrolling, just to kind of see what I missed from the night before. Because sometimes I just get offline. I'm sick and tired. I just get offline. But I happened to go in and I started scrolling. And the first thing I saw was this whole Akbar v mess. I'm just going to call it a mess. But the first thing I saw was this whole Akbar v situation with her and her husband. And Akbar v basically took to social media and said that she was battling postpartum depression, and that her husband, I think his name is Shaquem Taylor, but his nickname is Bean, that her husband is basically physically abusing her and beating on her and whooping on her. And she had a series of Instagram story posts where she was just detailing a whole lot of stuff. And, you know, like where people get in and they just start sharing their whatever they need to just get off of their chest. And I was just like, sis, like first thing in the morning, okay, here we are. And it's a part of me that feel like some things just don't belong on social media. But as someone who has created an online community, an online family, like my ICC friends, there are some things that I do want to get online and talk to y'all about. So I'm trying to be less judgy in the space of some things just don't need to be on social media. But I am going to say that there are some things in my life that will never make it to social media unless it is a dire emergency. And I'm hopping on here to tell one of y'all to call the police because I can't get access to a phone. And Akbar V said the reason why she was on social media and she was sharing this stuff is because she don't have anyone to talk to. But as I was reading her post, and I'm going through the post, she's basically outlining that from the beginning. She says she got married because she wanted to do it the right way in the Lord's eyes. And I understand that there are a lot of people who want to, you know, do things, quote unquote, the right way. But if you want to do things, quote unquote, the right way, you know, to please God, your best bet is to do it with the right person, because the right way with the wrong person is still going to get you the bad results. And just based off of the things that she was saying in these posts, like he would cheat on her if she find out about it, he would beat her up. She said he put her in the hospital because she confronted him about telling his ex-girlfriend's daughter to call him if anything. It was like really, really, really high, like top tier, nonsense. And, you know, when I decided that I wanted to talk about this, hold on, let me put my thing on Do Not Disturb because I'm pretty sure y'all can hear these emails coming in. You know, when I decided that I wanted to talk about this tonight, I was like, I want to make sure that I'm not coming from a place where I sound judgmental or I sound cold-hearted, because I have never been in an abusive relationship. I have never suffered from postpartum depression, so I can't speak from that space. And so because I haven't experienced it, I don't want to speak from sitting up high, looking down low, because y'all know that's not the type of person that I am. But there are some things that kind of happen in your life where the red flags be flagging and folks be doing this because they want to stay in it, or I don't know. I know that I've been a dummy in a relationship before. Nothing that would put myself or my children in harm's way. I just was a little bit dumb before in a relationship. But it's really, really sad. But at the same time, it explains to me a lot about Akbar V. Now, back in November of last year, I remember writing a story about her saying that they were getting a divorce. And where that stemmed from, Akbar V got online and she was asking for prayers because she said that her daughter was sick and in the hospital fighting for her life. And then Bean got on social media and was like, no, she's not. Yes, she had been hospitalized, but she wasn't necessarily fighting for her life, because when you hear fighting for someone is fighting for their life, that's a whole different connotation. And he was like, no, she's not. So I guess Akbar didn't particularly care for him undermining her or making her look a certain way on social media. They got into it back at the house, and she got online and told all of us she was getting a divorce. And then the next thing I know, so I wrote about it. I wrote about, you know, the whole situation, because I initially wrote about the daughter needing prayer. And then it was like, she's fighting for her life. Oh, wait. Okay. No, she's not. Is she fighting or not? Because listen, the one thing that we don't have to waste in this world these days is prayers. Okay. All of my prayers got to go straight to I can't be wasting prayers on y'all with y'all nonsense. So I need to know, is this a serious situation or not? And I think he kind of embarrassed her. And then when she asked for the prayer, she received a lot of blowback, because she had just got done going back and forth with Cardi B and saying some really mean and heinous things to Cardi B, because, you know, Akbar rides with Nicki. So she had this whole thing and she was mocking Cardi because Cardi was going through it with Offset and this, that, and the third. And so with that being said, people were like, they didn't really have the sympathy for her that they were hoping to have for her, or the hope that she was hoping to get. Okay, some of y'all saying that the live is frozen. Is it frozen? Can you see me? Is I'm or is I'm not? Let me know. Let me know. So I wrote about it. And when I wrote about it, the next thing I know, I was receiving phone calls about 2-3 o'clock in the morning from Akbar V. She was calling the Ice Cream Convo's telephone number. And first things first, my business hours is from 9 to 5. I'm like Big Red. I'm not answering my phone 3 o'clock in the morning, especially for no stranger. And my kids better call about 2-3 times to get through to me that time in the morning. So I'm like, I'm not answering the call. So she started texting me. And she started texting. She was like, this Akbar V, this Akbar V, this Akbar V. Okay, well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. My business hours is from 9 to 5. So anyway, she never followed up with me the next day. I just let it go. I got on social media and told y'all about it, that she was calling me 3 o'clock in the morning about the post that I wrote about her and her husband getting a divorce, which I didn't understand why she was reaching out to me, because if you didn't want the media to write about it, you wouldn't have put it out there. And I think a lot of people get upset when blogs write about them or media outlets write about them. We can't write about what we don't know. We can't write about what you don't tell us. And in most cases, you're telling us because you want the attention and you want the press. You want us to write about you. So anyway, with that being said, fast forward. Next thing I know, they saying she's pregnant. So I was like, okay, this might be a publicity stunt. I'm not buying. I'm really not necessarily interested. I'm just going to go on about my business. If you check icecreamcombos.com, you cannot find one article about Akbar V being pregnant because I just wasn't interested. I'm like, girl, you told me you was getting a divorce and now you pregnant. So I understand. I have a full understanding of the type of tomfoolery that goes on in your residence. So I'm not writing about that. So I was like, she probably want attention. Next thing I know, I get a baby shower invitation. So I'm like, is this a setup? Because you calling and texting my phone 3 o'clock in the morning, but then you invite me to your baby shower. So are you inviting me to the baby shower? Because I know you like to fight. I seen the videos. I know you like the fights. Are you inviting me to the baby shower because you want to fight me on site at the scene? Try either way. I wasn't going no way because I'm like, okay, now here we are. Fast forward to now. Now, as far as the postpartum depression is concerned, my prayers and my heart go out to her. But this situation with her marriage, the best thing that I can tell her to do is to pack up her shiznit and run. Pack up her baby and run. She just had a baby boy on July 20th. It is September 15th, and you are on the internet posting photos of your head and face completely swollen from this man whooping on you. She says she is so stressed out that she's not even producing milk for the baby. That is not a healthy situation in any way, shape, or form. Ma'am, log off and start packing your things and get to getting. And if you don't have nowhere to go, call Nikki. Because never mind. But I say all that to say, please let me know, have you ever dealt with an abusive relationship? If you are comfortable telling me, that's fine. You can, get in the comment section and let me know if you're comfortable telling me, or if you've ever dealt with postpartum depression. I know it's a beast. We hear very, very tragic stories about postpartum depression. After Akbar V shared all that stuff on social media and all these different posts that you can go read at icecreamcombos.com. I'm not going to go through this, that, and the third and bringing all of it up here, but she disabled her account. But right before I came on the live, I saw some videos of her. So I believe she back already. So I don't know. I can't call it, but I'm just going to say a little prayer for her. A little one, because I don't have prayers to be wasting. I believe I'm in a deficit of prayers because I done used a whole bunch of them for myself in this country that we live in at this point and my children. So I already believe I'm in a deficit of prayers. So I can't be wasting prayers on folks right now. But speaking of somebody who needs some prayer, let's talk about Mr. Nicholas Cannon. Nick Cannon went to the Breakfast Club today. And he said what we have been trying to tell him for the past 10 children. He says that having his children was a response to trauma. And he basically explained that after his marriage, his failed marriage to Mariah Carey, that he basically was on some YOLO, living his life to the fullest, living a tad frivolously, doing what he do and whatever come as it may. So now he has become the Johnny Appleseed of Hollywood. And, with all due respect, because I know Nick does have some health challenges, but Nick looked like a father of 12 on the Breakfast Club today. He looked like a father of 12. Nick Cannon was on the Breakfast Club looking the way I was looking on Thursday when I didn't get that video of my interview with Mr. Hudson. So if you're wondering what I look like, you can pull up the Nick Cannon interview on the Breakfast Club, because that's how I looked on Thursday, in case you were wondering, But Nick Cannon got 12 kids with 6 different women. And it just came back to me today when I was writing the post. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to say this. Nick Cannon said that having all of those children was a response to his trauma. I can guarantee you that Nick's trauma would have been healed expeditiously if he was the one that was having to give birth to them damn kids. Because it's real easy to plant a seed and sit to the side and watch the garden grow. It's a different thing to have to be the gardener and have to pluck whatever fruit you bear and have to deliver that fruit. Nick Cannon, after one baby, Nick Cannon would have went ahead and found a good therapist to heal all that trauma. All that trauma. That's one of the reasons why men have a whole bunch of babies, because they don't have to deliver them babies. I'm telling you. So if he had to deliver them children, he would not be a father of 12. Trust me on that. I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar. Trust me on this. He would not be the Johnny Appleseed of Hollywood. So Tanisha said, clock it, friend. Am I supposed to do this? So, I mean, it is what it is. But Nick, we've been telling you that the whole time. And now he's come with all these different diagnoses and all those things. You know, I kind of want to go to a doctor and see like how many diagnoses I come out with. You know, like when you go take your car to get an inspection, or you pull a Carfax report, or you think you just going in because your radiator may need some fluid, and the next thing you know, you come out with a laundry list of stuff from the rotors all the way to the what is it called? Not the calibrator. What's that thing called? It starts with a C, and it costs a whole bunch of money if yours go in the car. But anyway, I just feel like if I went into a therapist's office and sat down, I would come out with a Carfax report, like the kind that roll down. I would really be interested to find out what kind of diagnosis they give me. Because I just off the strength of my own self, I feel like I'm going to give y'all a little bit of ADHD. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of PTSD. I'm going to sprinkle in a little anxiety, maybe a little tad paranoia. I suffer from booty do. Some of y'all know what booty do is. Yeah, I would come out with a lot of different diagnoses. Cadillac converter. That's it. Thank you, best friend. That goddamn Cadillac converter. When they come out, and I was like, I remember the first time I went to get one of my cars fixed. The dude was like, hey, is an issue with your Cadillac converter. I said, I don't even have a Cadillac. What do y'all mean it's going to be like, and be feeling like they be telling you, listen, in my day, the way I was struggling, $300, it sounded like $30,000 to me. He was like, Cadillac. I was like, I don't even have a Cadillac. What is you talking about, sir? You trying to take advantage. He was trying to take advantage. This is not even a Cadillac. This is a Honda. What is you talking? Anyway, y'all could tell I'm a mechanic. But anyway, let's move on to this Holly Robinson Pete situation, because I actually made a video about this. So I didn't watch the Emmys last night. So shout out to those of you who did. I didn't watch the Emmys last night because I was out with my grandbabies all day. And by the time I got home last night, I was dog tired. All I wanted to do was take me an Epsom salt bath, lavender Epsom salt. Baby, that bath was so good. Oh, it was so good. And then I got my laptop and I was like, I know the Emmys are on, but I'm going to watch Task on HBO. Y'all, if y'all not watching Task on HBO, and yes, as you can see, my ADHD is showing. It is showing its draws right now. But I watched Task on HBO while I took a bath. I didn't feel like sitting through an award show. But I know that some of my favorites won, and I do plan to make a post about it, because let me just give y'all this little Zavi tip. Tanisha going to have me clocking it all night. Let me give you this little tip. If you want to know the best movies and TV shows to watch, basically just, if you ain't even got to watch the award shows, the next day, go back and see who won all the awards. At the very least, it's going to point you in the right direction of what to watch, especially the Emmys, because the Emmys deal with a lot of television. And if you go through, so now I got, I literally, let me see if I still got it. Let me see. I'm about to show y'all. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to pull it up right here. Let me show y'all my little cheat code. Okay, here it is. All right, I'm going to do a screen share, and hopefully this works. Let's see. Okay, can y'all see this? Okay, look. Emmy wins by program. The Studio. Y'all, we need to be watching The Studio. The Studio is on Apple TV. The Penguin. I already watched The Penguin, and I'm going to tell y'all that show is straight fire. But I think it was episode 7 or 8. I cried like a baby. So y'all make sure y'all have y'all Kleenex together. Adolescence on Netflix. Fire. Let me tell y'all what was so fire about Adolescence on Netflix. It was one camera shot the entire series. Now, once you find out that it's one camera shot, you start watching it a certain way. So basically, it's like, you know, if you watch a show and it's like, it's me, Destiny, Megan, Lynette, and Sheila. So it's like, I'm here and the camera goes to me and I'm like, girl, no, you didn't, blah, 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 blah. And then Lynette is like, but hold on. And then the camera like goes over to Lynette, or it goes to a different scene with Lynette in a different room. And then Destiny is like driving in her car. No, this show will have the camera on me, and it follows me as I make my way over to Megan to tell Megan we need to go see about Destiny. Then it'll follow me and Megan over to Destiny. And then we get over to wherever Lynette is. And then Sheila walks into it is one continuous shot. I don't know how the hell they did that show, because with that one continuous shot, can't nobody slip or mess up. Ain't no cut and then we got to do this scene over. It is literally one continuous shot. Just on the strength of that alone, it makes adolescent chef's kiss. It is absolutely wild how they did that show. Okay, Severance. Severance is Apple TV. If y'all know Severance, Severance needs no introduction. Severance is that show. Now, I'm going to be honest, full transparency, I did not watch the last season because I was like, I'm going to come back to it. I'm gonna wait for all the episodes to drop, because Apple TV Plus is one of those networks. They drip the episodes, and when it's real good, I'll wait till it's done and then I'll just binge the whole thing. But I never went back to binge, so I got to go catch up on Severance. Saturday Night Live, the anniversary special. Okay, I mean, Saturday Night Live is like hit and miss. It's like going to the food court at the mall. Sometimes the food is popping and sometimes it ain't. So that's me and Saturday Night Live. But The Pit, if y'all been rocking with me, y'all already know The Pit, in my personal humble opinion, was the best TV show that we got this year, because it actually came out this year. And season 2 is coming in January. So if you have not watched The Pit is Noah Wyle. It's an emergency room type of situation. Just imagine like ER, Grey's Anatomy, all those great shows, Chicago Med, all those great shows that deal with the emergency room. Imagine all those shows combined and on steroids and on HBO, where they can say and do whatever the hell they want to do. Like, I watched a baby come out of a woman's coochie on The Pit. Now, maybe y'all don't want to see that, but it was wild. It was really wild. Like, me and my family watched The Pit as a family every single Thursday night at 10 o'clock. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We sat. We are sat. We cancel plans. We miss dinner parties. We don't go to screen Thursday nights, HBO. So if you have not watched The Pit, do that. Traitors. I just started watching Traitors. I watched the last season. I like that show. It's pretty good. Andor is Disney Plus. So I'm going to have to go back and watch Andor, because the fact that it won all those awards, it won 5, kind of lets me know it's doing a little something. And I know it's in the Star Wars universe. That ain't really my thing. But if it got that many awards, it's worth me at least checking it out. So I just wanted to let y'all know, like, that's the cheat sheet. And I saw where Sheila said she does that with the Oscars. And I do that with the Oscars too when it comes to movies. If I haven't seen it already, then I do that. Now, y'all probably saw my review for The Long Walk. If you are emotionally stable enough, go see The Long Walk, or at least once it hits streamers, take the time to watch it, but take your time watching it, because you may have to get up and walk away from it and come back to it. But that was The Long Walk is definitely in my top 10. So I'll be waiting for the Oscars, next go round. But this is why I love like Golden Globes and I love the Emmys and so on and so forth. So, okay, my ADHD, let me get back on track. So the reason why we is here today, because we were talking about this. So last night the Emmys came on. I didn't watch. I was watching Task on HBO. Caught me red-handed. With that being said, Holly Robinson Peete took to social media and she called out the Emmys, because you know how they do the in memoriam? Every single time an award show does the in memoriam, they F it up. It never fails. Every single time. every single time it is somebody who is sitting at home like, oh, they forgot Junebug. Oh, they forgot Shaquela. I'm not the person who watches and I'm like, hold on, who they forgot? Because most times when I'm watching the In Memoriam, I'm like, damn, I forgot he passed. Oh my gosh, bro, I forgot she passed. Lord, you done called everybody home. I know it's popping in heaven right now, especially in the theater department and the music department. Like, so every time I watch award shows, like that's where my mentality is. Like, Lord have mercy, I didn't realize we lost this many people. Lord have mercy. And it's one of those things like, Lord, oh, I'm sad all over again. I forgot she passed, or I forgot he passed. Who is the person that's at home that's like, oh, 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 they forgot. Oh, they forgot. Well, here we are once again with the Emmys. Holly Robinson Peete was very upset. One of the ICC friends, and shout out to her, I can't think of her name right now, but she pointed out to me that it wasn't initially Holly Robinson Peete that called this out. It was Danielle Spencer's brother, Jeremy, who called out the Emmys for not recognizing her during the In Memoriam. So when I saw Holly's post, I didn't see Jeremy's post. So I was like, oh my gosh, wow. So I wrote the post, and y'all know your girl gonna always do her due diligence. So as I'm writing the post, I'm like, so I know Phylicia Rashad opened the In Memoriam because I did see a highlight clip of that on social media, that Phylicia Rashad opened the In Memoriam by honoring Malcolm Jamal Warner, her television son on The Cosby Show. So I'm like, okay, bet. Then I just didn't watch the rest, to be honest with you. Sometimes I don't. You don't want to get on social media and watch it In Memoriam. I'm just being honest. At least I don't. And so I was just like, all right, I know that probably was heavy. I'm not ready to deal with that emotionally just yet, watching her pay tribute to, because number one, it broke my heart to see Phylicia Rashad standing up there, because Phylicia just lost her mama too. So not only did she lose her TV son, Theo, Malcolm Jamal Warner, then right after that, she lost her mama. So I'm looking at someone who is still grieving the loss of her mother on stage, trying to honor her television son at the same time. So it hurt me just to see that much. So I didn't want to sit and watch the full In Memoriam. But then when Holly brought up this situation with Danielle Spencer, I'm like, okay, I need to go take a look and find out what's going on. So then I started doing my research. Who else was missing? So to my understanding, Val Kilmer was also missing. Gene Hackman was missing. Mr. Tony Todd, the original Candyman, he was also in the Last Final Destination. And I'm like, okay, so it wasn't one of those things where, because we quick to be like, they always leaving out the black folks. But I'm like, they left out Gene Hackman, my G. And Gene Hackman passed away in the house with his wife and the dogs. That was Gene, right? Somebody confirmed that was Gene. Because as soon as I said that, I feel like something in my spirit was like, that wasn't Gene. But I feel like it was. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, so it wasn't targeted because they done left some other folks out. Okay. Best friend said I was right. Okay. So I'm like, okay, it wasn't targeted. Y'all left out Gene Hack. Y'all left out Val Kilmer. So then I'm like, okay. So I'm still doing my research, and they say they left out Hulk Hogan too, but I mean, people get left out every day, big. So I'm like, all right, let me go see what's up. So I start doing some research, and I saw where the Television Academy was like, hey, we don't really have time to go through all the names because it was over 100 people who had passed. So they were like, we didn't have the time, because it is a live television show. We didn't have the time to go through everyone. So what we did was, on our website, we posted an extended In Memoriam, and y'all, I watched the entire thing. It was over 7 minutes long. I watched the entire thing, and it was nothing but like a scrolling list of names, kind of like at the end of a movie as the credits roll up, like who was a part of the movie and the cast and so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay. So I literally sat and watched, and they had Irv Gotti in there. They had Ananda Lewis in there. They had Sissy Houston in there. And again, I'm watching this thing like, oh my Lord, I forgot. Oh Lord, Miss Sissy, I forgot. I'm sitting here going through it, watching the scroll, right? So I'm just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But in the scroll, they had Gene Hackman, they had Val Kilmer, they had Dr. Danielle Spencer in the scroll. And so I was like, okay, she was not forgotten. Now the issue is these in memoriams have what is like similar to a summer jam screen, right? So you have the scrolling names on the website, but during the in memoriam, during the show, during the actual award ceremony, they bring out these singers or whoever, going to sing these songs to bring your spirit down to the flow. And then they do the glamour shots, the Olin Mills shots of the different people. They do these big, huge photos of the people in the background. Now, just another point, and please, y'all get me back on track if my ADHD start taking me too far down the road. Another thing that bothers me with in memoriams, and let me know if y'all notice this too. You ever notice you watching an award show and they're showing the different people up on the big Olin Mill portraits, and they'll show one person and it's just like, and they'll show somebody and everybody's like, woo, woo. And then they'll show the next person and everybody get quiet again. How y'all cheering during an in memoriam? I think that is so tacky and so raggedy. I get that there are some people that just, it's in your spirit that you just want to be like, oh, yes, God, that was my boy. Or that was my girl. But the cheer for one particular person who passed and then get back quiet for everybody else, like, well, child, I mean, all right. Imagine being the family member who your loved one didn't get the cheers. That's a little crazy to be cheering. Like, how about, since y'all go to those film festivals, because all y'all in the room are actors and actresses. We talking Emmys, Golden Globes, and Oscars now. So all of y'all in the room are actors, or in Hollywood in some way, shape, or form. Y'all go to them film festivals and stand up and give a standing ovation for 15 minutes long. I saw y'all do that for The Rock's new film. Y'all stood there. I ain't watched the whole 15 minutes, but I know because I be reading. Y'all stood there and clapped for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So y'all can't clap for everyone. Like, just give a soft, if that's what y'all want to do, just a little something while all the names are read. How about we just show reverence and just sit and be quiet? Let's bow our heads a little something, or say a silent prayer. Y'all start cheering for certain people. And I think that's rude. I do. And I know my opinion don't matter to some folks, but I think that is rude. So let's get back to the in memoriam and the Olin Mills shots. Who decide who get to be on the Summer Jam screen and who get to be in the ticker tape back to the website? Do y'all draw names? Do y'all put all the names in a hat? Y'all pick out names? Now, they not, okay, hold on. Now I'm treading into some sensitive territory. So y'all know my heart, right? Just say we know your heart, friend, okay? Because I don't want y'all to misunderstand what I'm getting ready to say. I knew that the Emmys was going to open that in memoriam with Malcolm Jamal Warner, because that is the most recent and the most gut-wrenching and the most painful loss that we are suffering. I saw like a TV show, like one of his last acting, like one of his last performances. They ain't even pushing the TV show. They pushing, oh, we got a first look at Malcolm Jamal Warner's last performance. Vultures. Because if Malcolm was still here, had the Lord seen fit for him to still be here, y'all would have been showing somebody else from that show. But now y'all going to try to milk it. So I feel like, and listen, he is absolutely due the respect and being honored, and he is absolutely due that tribute. But they open that tribute up with him because he is the most, it's a fresh wound. It is a fresh wound. But then they started going through. So I'm watching the in memoriam because now I need to go back and see what they actually did versus, because I already don't watch the ticker tape on the website. So now I need to go back and actually see what y'all did on the one that everybody saw on TV. I know I ain't the be all end all guru of all things TV and film, but I didn't recognize half of them people that was up there. I didn't. I recognized Quincy Jones. They ended with him. They were like, we're going to start with a black man and we're going to end with a black man. And y'all, was it just me? Because I had totally forgot Quincy had passed until I saw him up there. So then I had to go through that all over again. Like, Lord, we done lost the icon, the man who helped give us Thriller. Okay, sorry. So I'm just like, I didn't even recognize a lot of the people who were in there, right? So now we go back to Danielle Spencer, Holly Robinson, and Danielle's brother Jeremy. For many of us, Danielle's death is a fresh wound, right? But when I look at these things, I look at it from the scope of Hollywood, right? It's the Hollywood scope. You know, Danielle had left that industry many, many, many moons ago. She had become a veterinarian. She was a doctor. She was doing all these really dope and cool, wonderful things in her life. She had left that industry years and years ago. And while she is very important and she is a staple in our community and she means everything to us in our community, in that community, in that circle, it's like, she can go on the ticker tape. Even though I don't necessarily even recognize the people who had the Summer Jam screen outside of Malcolm and Quincy. And so Lynette said, too old school for the slideshow. So, but we have to, like, sometimes we got to get out of our feelings and we got to go up here. Because I'm one of those people and I got a whole lot of nerve telling y'all that. Because I operate from a space of in my feelings. Like my theme song is, and our feelings, that Babyface song, just ain't feelings anymore. That's my theme song. I stay in my feelings. I be swimming in my feelings all day long. I am the most sensitive thug you ever gonna meet in your life. But I'm working on it. I am really, really working on it. I am trying to stay up here more than down here, especially when it comes to business. And if I was able to stay up here and not down here, I wouldn't have been crying in the bed all day on Thursday. Like I miss my Uncle Charles. But anyway, I think that's what it was about. I don't think it was about trying to slight Danielle. I don't think it was about trying to be dismissive of her. I don't think it was, a slight to her family. But here's what I want to say to the Emmys, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, the BET Awards, and whatever awards we got left, because I know they done got rid of most of them. But whatever awards that we have left, including the Oscars, if y'all not going to put everybody on the Summer Jam screen, don't put nobody up there. Because how y'all pick and choose who's worthy enough or who y'all think are validated enough to be up here like this. But then everybody else got to be on the ticker tape. Now, someone on TikTok, and please follow Ice Cream Convos on TikTok if you don't do so already. Someone on TikTok made a good point. They said, perhaps show all the performers, so that's the actors and so on and so forth, show them on the screen, and like the cast members and the crew and production and people who weren't necessarily in the public eye, then maybe ticker tape them. But me being who I am, either everybody need to be up there or everybody need to get ticker taped. Now, here's what I feel like is a smart middle ground. That stage big enough for 2 screens. Put the performers, just literally gently do their faces like this. Because see, y'all was marinating too long on the pictures. It was like, it was too long. Have the pictures a pulse, boom, and a beautiful fade. Just a pulse, a pulse. And that won't give people time to start cheering because it'll go so fast. You start cheering for one person, somebody else on the screen. We don't even know who you was cheering for with your ignorant tail. A pulse, boom, boom. Just do a sweet pulse over here of all the performers. And on this screen, do the ticker tape. Do the ticker tape on this screen of the behind the scenes people so that their families can be honored and they can be shown respect as well. And then the performers that are in the forefront, that's the best happy medium I can come up with, because who the heck knew to go to the website? Who going to watch the Emmys and say, oh my gosh, let me leave watching the Emmys because I need to go over to the website so that I can watch the ticker tape? I'm just saying. I don't know. Whatever room I'm calling from, I don't know. But y'all just kind of let me know your thoughts on that, because at some point it just starts feeling like disrespectful. Like Lynette said, Tanisha said, I can't with you, Zavi. But Lynette said, I didn't know until you mentioned it. I had no idea that they had a full out video back on the website. Today was my first time going to the Television Academy website. I didn't even know y'all had a website down to the internet. So if I didn't know, and that's one of the reasons why I made the video, because to the naked eye, it just looks like, if you're watching the show, it just looks like, hey, you forgot a whole bunch of goddamn people. But in reality, they actually really, really tried to honor they tried, and I'm not caping for their asses, but they really, really tried. Y'all, they had Irv Gotti in there. What award show? VMAs, MTV didn't even recognize Ananda. Oh, but let me guess, they probably got a website somewhere with the ticker tape. Let me guess. MTV, y'all got the ticker tape somewhere? Because Ananda should have been the first person that y'all recognized and honored. Or either just do away with it altogether, because y'all never get it right. Y'all just don't. You don't get it right. So rather than leaving families feeling disheartened or feeling disrespected, how about you could say, and visit our official website to see our in memoriam video where we honor those who have gone on to glory. It could be that simple. Play In the Arms of an Angel in the background. Far away from here. Do that. But just don't leave people feeling bad. And y'all, low key, I made that video, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. I made that video for y'all, for me, and I really made it for Holly and Danielle's family. Because if they felt that way, they ain't know about the website either. So I want to read a few comments. Let me go back. Let me see. Amy said, or do it like the BET Awards did this year and do it in intervals throughout the show. Y'all done started some mess with me in this. That's a great idea. Let's see. Best friend said the average person doesn't think of their website. They don't. I can't even get folks to think about my website, and I post all day, every day. So, I mean, I don't know, man. These in memoriams is just sketchy. Child, Elena said she didn't even know the Emmys was on, child. So miss her with all the BS. Our Lovely said that was egregious. Yeah, I mean, it just is. And I know she's probably talking about MTV not honoring Ananda. So, I mean, if I was Ananda's family, I would be down to the Paramount buildings. Like, excuse me, I'd like to have a word with Mr. Plus. What is this? Let's see. Megan said they could have the name scrolling across the bottom with, like how I'm saying follow Ice Cream Convos on TikTok at Ice Cream Convos. have the names at the bottom. Yes. See, there is a way. And let me tell you, here's the last thing that I feel like is some BS with this whole thing. We talk about people. Oh, I was stuttering. I know I'm in my bag now. We talking about people who produce TV and film all the time. This is Hollywood. Hollywood know how to get something done. They know how to, they had the little fun game where they was running the little ticker tape on people talking too long and running the money up and down. I saw a clip of that. Y'all Hollywood. If y'all can't figure out how to include everyone in an in memoriam, and the in memoriam that they had where they were doing the Summer Jam screen was about 7 minutes long. The video that included all of the names of everyone was 7 minutes long on the website. Miss me with the BS. Miss me with the BS. Y'all could have included everybody. Miss me with the BS. Y'all be on that BS, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on because y'all know I be getting a little long with it. So I saw this video clip. I'm looking at my little notes because I'm trying to keep myself in order. I saw this video of Monique. I'm about to try to share it with y'all. Hold on. Let me see what I can share with y'all. I'm going to share. Oh, it says that I can still, let me see, stop screen share. Okay, I'm about to go back over here. Okay. Hold on. Y'all don't be looking at my DMs and stuff. Let me see. Where is it? It was a video of Monique. And Monique said, when it come to Tyler Perry and Oprah, she gonna have beef forever. She ain't never letting up on them suckers. Y'all, listen to this.
I say, Monique, when you gonna stop with Tyler and Oprah? I'm not. Just so we clear, I'm not. Because we've gotten so used to letting it go and moving on. Well, where does that come from? Let it go. That dates all the way back to slavery. Just don't say nothing. Just keep moving on. And that's why we continue to be treated the way that we get treated. So for me, my babies, I won't let go and I won't move on from that. Doesn't mean I'm bitter. I'm not angry. And I love my brother and sister or my sister and sister. Whatever day Tyler chooses, whichever way he goes, I love all of them. However, wrong is wrong and right is right. And until we start standing on what is right, we will continue to be treated wrong. That's just my humble opinion.
Okay. Let me know if y'all saw that and y'all could hear that and all that other good stuff. Were y'all able to hear Monique and see Monique? Monique said, we gonna have beef forever. Monique, when you letting up? I'm not. And let me tell y'all something about Monique. Whether you love Monique or you don't particularly care for her that much, Monique got the perfect voice to keep some BS up. Like the tone of her voice is a perfect voice to keep up BS. Like Monique's voice sound like she, that auntie or that play cousin that sit on the porch. When somebody walk by, they just be like, hey girl. Child, look at her. You know her baby daddy in jail. Mm-hmm. And you know her little grandbaby cried backwards. He cried backwards. Listen, there is a part of me that always felt like, Lord have mercy, Monique. When are you going to let it go? When it comes to Tyler Perry and Oprah, just when are you going to let it go? Because I believe that both Oprah and Tyler Perry will be standing at the pearly gates looking for their name in the book of life before they give this woman an apology for however they have wronged her. Have they wronged her in some way, shape, or form? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did Monique play her part in this ensemble? Absolutely. But how much of her part did she play? Who's really like what percentage of who's right and wrong? That's not for me to determine. But I know that at the end of the day, everybody got some mud on their shoes in this situation. But let me tell you something. I don't know if I'm all the way mad at this type of energy. Now, am I sick and tired of hearing about Monique, God darn Tyler Perry, and God darn Oprah? Yes, God. I am beat down to the ground. I am a horse that has been beaten to death. I am sick and tired of hearing about this. But does Monique have the right to feel how she feels? Absolutely. Because there are a handful of people on God's green earth right now that I have this same energy for. The difference between Monique and I is I'm not going to speak life into it. I'm not going to give it life. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to pay these particular people dust. And I know that the time and place will come when they will have to be held accountable for the things that they have either said or done to and about me. But you can't force someone to give you an apology after you have told them to suck your D, after you done called they mama's hoes and all kind of stuff. Like there's a certain drawbridge that once you cross it, you ain't gonna get the results that you want. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't strong arm someone into apologizing to you. But am I all the way mad at this energy? No. Am I tired of hearing about this? Absolutely. But feelings are something that the Lord implanted in all of us, and how we deal with them and how we handle things is how we got to deal with it on the backside. I want to go to some of the comments because y'all got me cracking up over here. Tanisha said, Auntie Messy Boots. Destiny said, child, they are paying her dust. She need to let it go. Lynette said, she's definitely not going to get what she seeks. It's kind of like she needs to learn to accept that apology accountability that she will not get. Yeah. Let's see. Shantae said, Tyler ain't gonna say a thing right now. He damn sure ain't saying nothing right now. We're gonna get to that. We're going to get to that. And Frank is here with us. Welcome, Frank. Frank said, Monique loves drama. Okay, let's sit with this one for a second. Because and I just want to slide over to Tanisha real quick, because Tanisha said exactly she's blocking her healing. And I feel like to a certain extent, she is blocking her blessings. And let me tell y'all why I feel like that. And just let me know if you agree. And if you don't agree, it's okay to tell me, because I learned from y'all as well. I feel like Monique is blocking her blessings in this particular way. One of the things that Tyler Perry has allegedly said about Monique behind closed doors is that she is difficult to work with. I think either Tyler said it, Oprah said it, or both of them said it. But it was presented to the industry that Monique is difficult to work with. And I think even Will Packer put a little something in the mix too. He sprinkled a little something in the mix too into the conversation. So this is already out there about you, right? And I know a lot of times, y'all, I done heard some rumors about me back in my day. They may still be circulating now, that I was like, damn, I had to back up off of it and sit my cup down. Like I was like, y'all said I did that. But at the same time, I didn't feed it. And I feel like, oh, my nose is itching. What it be when your nose itch? Somebody talk about you, or you just need to blow your nose? Okay, anyway, ADHD. I just feel like if there is a perception out there that you are difficult to work with, that you keep mess up, and that so on and so forth, and then you are getting online and constantly keeping the stuff going once it gets quiet, I get the whole like hashtag never forget type of energy. But at the same time, while you're trying to hashtag never forget what Tyler and Oprah did to you, you are hashtag never forget that they also said you are difficult to work with. And this is what you are displaying in the streets of social media. You are trying to keep mess going when everyone is trying to back up from the situation, allow it to just kind of disintegrate and just kind of become Black history. But you want to be the history books, and you want to be the Teddy Ruxpin of the situation and remind people it's story time. Like, I think for me, Monique hit the bottom of the barrel when Tyler spoke at Angie Stone's service. and she got online and made it about her and Tyler. That's when I was like, ooh, feeling a little cringy out here. And I'm like, Mo, like, and she tried, and I understand the POV she was bringing to it, but it's a time and place for everything. And that was not the time nor the place. You know what I'm saying? We are grieving this woman whose life was taken far too soon. And you taking Tyler Perry's eulogy speech. Oh, my nose is still itching. Y'all tell me what that means. You're taking his speech or eulogy or the words the powerful words that he said about Angie Stone, and you're trying to flip them around into him being a hypocrite, and it just didn't look good on you. You trying to make him look bad, and it's making you look bad, and it's only feeding this narrative that you are a difficult person to work with, that you'll bite the hand that feeds you, and whatever else they tried to say about you. Like, and I hate that this is how it's turned out, because Monique is incredibly gifted. She is incredibly talented. When Monique said, who gonna love me? Since you're so smart and you got your degree and all that. Man, Monique is talented. She is incredibly talented, and she is allowing this BS from years ago. Child Precious done married a white man and had 2 babies, and you still down to the thing. Who like Mo. Precious got twins and she married a white man. She don't even go by Precious no more. And you still talking about the thing. Mo, let's go. Let's do these movies. Let's get it. Like when she was in what's it called? Deliverance? Whatever the movie was Lee Daniels did. She ate that role coming over there as the social worker. I say, yes, Monique, you done went from sitting in the social worker's office to being the social worker. Look at your progression. Yeah, I be talking about these people like they roles is real life. Let me cook. But I'm like, you done went from sitting down in the darn child services office with Mariah Carey looking like she fresh out. And now you the social worker. Got your little nice little 2-piece Lane Bryant outfit on. What you doing? Carrying a briefcase. Let's go. Look at all of us progressing in life. But you still talking about damn Tyler and Oprah. Oprah ain't even the same size she was when she did that mess to you. Ma'am, let's go. Let's move forward. Let's leave Black History in February. It ain't even February and you still talking about this mess. At least save it for Black History Month. Every Black History, every February, I would use what Tyler Perry and Oprah did to me as a Black History fact. There you go, Mo. And we ain't got to hear about it the other 364 days of the year. But you could pick one day in February to just tell us, use it as a Black History moment. On this day in Black History, boom, 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 da-dee-dee, dot. Bing bow. Give it to us. We'd be like, oh, Mo ate with that. Like, you a comedian. Make it funny. Make it fun. You a comedian. This is your skill set. You got me sitting here writing the jokes for you. Y'all think she'll shoot me a Cash App or something if I send this clip to her? Probably not. Probably not. But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, Mo, you are so talented. She funny. Well, that last stand-up was kind of sketchy, but she can act. She can act. She is incredibly, man, who better than Monique? Even an owl can't who like that. Get up off of her. Monique, I'm going to need you to lock in. Lock in, baby. We got to get you back to the Oscars. Lock in. Lock in. Let them go do what they gonna do. Because see, if you had chilled in the cut and let the Lord fight your battles, you would probably be in a totally different situation, a totally different playing field, and just let the Lord cook. You in the kitchen trying to take the pots and pans. Let the Lord cook. Because from the looks of it, Tyler Perry may be dealing with a few things that, I guess this is a good time to talk about what we need to talk about. And this is going to be the last thing I talk about before I get out of here, because I know I probably done got on y'all last nerve tonight. But can we talk about Tyler Perry for a little bit? And I'm going to be mindful of my words because I don't need no litigation in my life. So everything that I say from this point forward is alleged, circumstantial, it's allegations. It is it's all those things. I am not speaking from a place of fact. I am speaking from a place of accusation and allegations, and we are just discussing what is already in the atmosphere, just like air. Y'all, Tyler Perry, the man, him named Derek Dixon, him downstairs. Some of y'all might know what that means. Derek Dixon said that Tyler Perry was sexually harassing him down to the job. Well, not necessarily at the job, but at the house. Derek, I think he was on the Oval. These are some Tyler Perry shows I just don't watch. I pick and choose my Tyler Perry productions carefully. But I believe Derek Dixon is from the Oval. If I say anything wrong, friends, feel free to correct me in the comments, and then I'll hurry up and correct it for the rest of the family. Okay. But from my understanding, I think it's the Oval. He was in some Tyler Perry production. And he was a waiter. Oh, let me get Monique off of here, because Monique looking like, girl, what's the tea? No, I'm not going to let you chime in on what Tyler got going on, Monique. So the man done filed. Oh, thank you, Frank. Frank said, yes, it is the Oval. The man done filed a $260 million lawsuit against Tyler Perry for a number of things, from sexual harassment to workplace, whatever. This non-melanated man said that I believe he was working as a waiter. Tyler saw him and was like, I think you would be a good actor. Okay. I got hair in my mouth. Okay. Gave him a role in the show, and basically, for lack of a better term, Tyler Perry is accused of trying to groom this man. But as they say back in the hood, he was trying to turn him out, allegedly. Turn him out. And listen, I'm not going to act like we all don't know that there are some people who love a challenge, especially if you're straight, and they may not be straight. They may be gay, or they are gay and you might be straight. Child, y'all get the point. People like to see if they can turn other people out. For some people, it's a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I was going to tell y'all a personal story, but I ain't going to tell it because I don't know if this person is watching this live, and I don't want no mess tomorrow. But all I'm going to say is I had a friend who attempted to turn me out one time, and I'm going to just leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say about that. That way, if you say something, you just a hit dog hollering, because that's not enough context clues for nobody to know. But it was a very, very, very long time ago. And Destiny said, put it on Patreon. See, Destiny being messy. But yeah, but some people they just like the challenge of it. They just like the challenge of it. That's all to it. They just like the challenge of it. For others, it's about power. I'm that girl. I'm that guy. I'm him. If you want X, Y, and Z, I'm the gatekeeper. I got the key that unlock all these doors to your future and your wildest dreams. And if you want to get into if you want to get into Club 559, you're going to have to come through me to get into the club. If you want to be with the ballers and shot callers, if you want to be at the Emmys, sitting up clapping for the people on the in memoriam when you shouldn't be clapping, you're going to have to go through me to get in here. And some people do that. And that is what Derek is claiming Mr. Perry did with him. But here's the thing. I'm going to take it off Mr. Perry now. So everything that I say from this point forward is just general statements. First things first. My grandmother always told me, everybody not going to tell the same lie on you. You may have a few little spots here and there, people saying some things. Everybody ain't going to tell the same lie on you. I would also like to say that I wish Christian Keys had really stood on a big box of business. Had Christian Keys stood on a big box of business, we might be looking at a completely different scenario right now. I really wish Christian Keys has stood on a big box of business. And I'm going to tell you that I feel like Christian Keys did not stand on that box of business because he didn't want to deal with what we are watching Derek Dixon go through now. Don't mind my shirt. I made salmon tonight and I got some salmon on my shirt. Y'all saw that video of Christian Keys on Instagram when that man was so upset. Here's upset. Christian was up here to the point where his skin was literally flustered. Because y'all know he beige. His skin was flustered. That man was literally fighting, trying not to come out of his skin. He was so mad. And one thing about getting mad is when you get mad, you don't necessarily mind your words or you don't necessarily mind your thoughts because you're being reactive. You're not being proactive. You're not thinking anything. He said that he has recorded phone calls of his sexual harasser. And he said, and I will never, ever, ever forget him saying that the moment we heard that recording and we heard the voice on that recording, that every single person across America or this damn world would know whose voice that is. Hello. This man talked about having a gun. This man talked about falling asleep at a man's house and waking up with a man on top of him. Now, what Derek Dixon has said now, he was where and what happened to he? Christian Keys said, after he was like, oh, hell nah, bro, what is you trying to do? He had to wax on and wax off to protect himself. Like wax on, wax off. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Miyagi taught me that a long time ago when I was a kid. You know, you got to wax on and you got to wax off and wax on. He had to do that just to get up out of there. And then after they had, you know, pieced it up, whatever, he said as he was going out the door, his harasser grabbed his meat. Derek Dixon said he had to lock himself down to the bathroom. Dude, but I want to talk about that for a minute. Let's get back to Derek Dixon. Christian, I really wish you had stood on a big box of business, but I do understand when checks clear, they clear, baby. Because that's the only thing this is saying. This is saying either you received a threat that was above your level of security, or you received a check that was above your bank account. Because that's the only thing that can make people heal from that type of anger. If Tyler had cut Monique one of them checks, she wouldn't be on social media talking about it's forever. I am not saying that Tyler Perry cut Christian Keys a check. I said, I suspect that Christian Keys received a check. Because that's the only thing that quells the type of anger that I saw on social media that night. And then here's the thing. When other people were in the comments calling out names and saying names and so on and so forth, he was liking the posts. He was liking the comments. He was telling us who it was. I thought Christian Keys was going to blow the lid off of this. But let me ask y'all a question. If Christian Keys were to have named someone that we all know and that is very well respected in the Black community, do you think people would have believed him? Y'all let me know in the comments. Or do y'all think people would have been like, shut up, Christian, you lying. Or do you think, the community loved Christian enough that they would have believed him? Because he had me just based off of the sheer whatever was bubbling up in his chest. It was bubbling, y'all. That man was getting ready to burst on social media. Elena said, not our people. Damn. Dang. Well, I already believed. Dang. See that, and that's the other thing. In our community, we tend to give certain people so much power that they feel invincible. And once they, like, remember when you was playing video games when you was little, and it would be like one of those games where after you conquer certain things, your character powers up. Or me and Carla was talking about the other day, back in the day, when it'd be like extra man. Remember when you used to play a game and you get an extra man? But anyway, ADHD. But like your character powers up or levels up and gets stronger and stronger throughout the game. And we have certain people in our community that we have allowed to power up and level up to the point where they feel untouchable. And that's when they start cutting the fool. Tabitha said, I think it would be split like always. Tanisha said, I think a check was cut and the threat was heavy. Both of them. Jamaican Annie said, yes, I would have believed him. It seems like, look at Diddy. It was like a whole heap of people saying Diddy had did stuff. And there's still people to this day that's like, they all lying. All of them lying. They all want money. So everybody out there just like, take that. Come on, dog. Everybody not going to tell the same lie on you. Of course, you're going to have some bandwagon people who want to get on the bus and see how much check they can get. But I know there are people at home right now that's like, damn, like Derek had the balls to like really say something. Not necessarily, I'm taking it off of Mr. Perry. But it's just the fact that Derek had the balls or the courage. I'm going to use courage because that's a little more, a little more couth. He had the courage to speak out. He had the courage to say something. Because Derek went his 260 million. Especially after he just saw that girl cash out on Shannon Sharp. Child, please. Listen, I was about to say something that I don't know if I should say. But some of y'all already know, if there was a statute of if I was willing to play that game, or if I had the courage to deal with people calling me a liar and all that, and I was real down bad and needed some money, it's a rapper right now that I could file a lawsuit on for sexual harassment. And I'm talking about this happened years ago. But I mean, if we pulling up old stuff, y'all better read my site before I have to go file one of them lawsuits and get one of go down there and get Tony Busby and be sitting on the side crying and stuff. Y'all better read my website. And I got a real case, but I do recognize the fact that at this point in my life, nobody would believe me, and everybody would think it was a money grab, and everybody would think I was lying. But the other people who probably it happened to them too, they be knowing. They be knowing. Oh, hold on. Wait, Elena said the herbal tea is hot tonight. Tanisha said, damn, friend, I'm sorry you went through that. Thank you, friend. And here's the thing. At the time, like, it was the weirdest thing. And I'm only going to speak a little bit on it because I don't want y'all to be putting 2 and 2 together. But I'll tell y'all in Patreon, because I trust y'all in Patreon. If y'all not in my Patreon, come over there and join my Patreon. It's just $5. But hear me out. It was the strangest thing because I was young. How old was I? I want to say maybe 21. Yeah, maybe 21, 22 at the, maybe 21, 22. I was completely starstruck. And then homeboy came on wild strong. So I was like scared and starstruck at the same, child, crazy as hell. Crazy as hell in these Atlanta streets. Crazy as hell. I was starstruck and shook at the same time. So it was almost like my brain was scrambling and I ain't know what to do. And you know what I started doing? Because I ain't know what to do? Laughing. Oh, no, stop. Laughing. Because I ain't know what to do. So I just started like the nervous giggle, like, no, wax on, wax off, giggling, because I didn't know what to do. My brain was scrambling. I just knew I gotta get out. I gotta get out of here. I just gotta get out of here. So, yeah. Elena said, I know a dead 70s singer that she could have got. Oh, back in the 70s, they was awful. They was real bad because men they ain't give a damn about no back then. And what's crazy is like I'm giggling and waxing on and waxing off because I'm just like, yo, I can't believe that it's this person. Like I'm literally right here with this person, but this person is literally trying to put their hands in my drawers and I don't want that right now. So I'm giggling and waxing on and waxing off and saying that I got to go. My friend is waiting on me. I got to go. But if I was to call Tony Busby right now and tell him, and Tony, you know, Tony he gonna be down if but y'all would be like, bitch, if you he probably don't even remember me at this point. He probably look at me and be like, Your Honor, I ain't never seen that woman before in my life, and pass a lie detector test because I'm pretty sure he done seen plenty of women in his life. But I'm just saying, like, that is how easy it is. So I saw a lot of discourse about Derek Dixon, like, oh, Derek knew what he was doing. He was playing the game. And then when he got fired, now he want to file a lawsuit against Mr. Perry. Because here's one thing we can say. At the very least, Tyler Perry was out of pocket in this Derek Dixon situation. At the very least, he crossed professional lines with an employee, right? So I don't think he can sue me for saying that. So at the very least, my opinion is that he crossed professional lines with this employee, right? We saw the text messages. They was all over the internet. Some of y'all was like, them is Dr. Medea would never text that. Those text messages are they're doctored. And I'm going to ask you, who doctored them? Who doctored them? Child. Anyway, but here's what I'm going to say to that. Because y'all, if I'm telling you, I am a Teddy Ruxpin of stories. I have lived, and I'm so glad that I have survived a lot of stuff. But I had a boss. I was a single mom. Marshawn and Janisha were very young. It was before I met JB. And I was working this job. And it was an office job. And it was a very small company. And by small company, it was me. It was the owner and his partner. It was the three of us. We were the business. I came in for my interview. I still remember I went to 357 to get like a little suit, like a little suit jacket and little skirt because I wanted to look professional for my interview. Went in, did the interview, and I got the job. Now, in hindsight, because hindsight is always 2020, I was not qualified for that job. I got the job because I used to be cute in my day. I used to be cute. I used to be a little cute before I got my booty doing and all these other diagnoses that I done picked up along the way. I used to be T. You know, I was young T and sweet T, for lack of a better term. And in hindsight, that's why I got that job. So the way the job was set up, it was like an office suite, office building, like where you have all bunch of different offices on one floor, but different office spaces for different people. And I had my own office, and I was so proud of myself because I had finally got a job and I was going to be able to take care of my kids. And I wasn't going to be able to have to decide if I'm going to keep the lights on or if I'm going to keep the heat on this month, because there were months where I had to decide like which one we going to deal with. So I had this job, $7 an hour. I had to ride 2 buses to get to work, 2 buses and a train to get to work. And remember when Outkast used to rap about and me and you, your mama and your cousin too, when they when Andre 3000 said, I caught the 86 Lithonia headed to Decatur. That's the bus I used to take to get to work. And so I had this job and I was so proud, and I was a skip tracer. And some of y'all may know what skip tracing is. Some of you may not. The company I work for used to buy old debt. And my job was to pull credit reports and go through your credit report and try to find like your last known address and phone number, and then try to call you, reach out to you about this past debt that we done bought from, you know, whatever company, and try to collect on this debt. So I was basically a skip tracer collector. So I'm in my little office and I'm so proud. So first it started out with the boss coming in like, hey, you want to go get some lunch? And I used to be like, yeah, sure. The reality was I was saying, yeah, sure, because I didn't have enough money to buy lunch or to eat. Like most cases, I didn't have lunch. Like I didn't have money. I didn't have lunch. So when he would offer, I would always jump at the chance because I could eat today. Listen, don't worry. Stick with me. You're going to learn more about my life. So first we started out, we would go to lunch. He was real cool, talk, blah, 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 blah. Now here's where I effed up. In hindsight, because hindsight is always 2020. When we used to go to lunch, he used to talk to me and like ask about my life and ask about, you know, being a single mom and having 2 kids. And I moved down here from Jersey. I'm in Atlanta and I'm just trying to make it. I came down here chasing my music dreams. I didn't become a music star like I thought I was going to. And here I am just robbing Peter to pay Paul, spinning the block, and robbing Paul to pay Peter again. And he was learning about my life, right? And I'm like, yo, my boss cool as shit. Like, he cool as hell. Like, he take me to lunch. He talked to me. He learned about my life. He don't judge me home, look at me with pity. No, he wasn't looking at me with pity. He was basically doing what most trash men do. They learn about your life. They learn where your deficiencies are. They learn where your vulnerabilities are. So they know which door is unlocked and which door they can sneak in when you ain't looking. That's a bar. That's a bar. That is a bar. Elena said, grooming me. So I'm thinking he's so cool. Well, then, after we start going to lunch, now we done built a rapport. So now he comfortable. He'd come in, sit on my desk. He'd be like, "Oh, your hair's so pretty today." Or he'll play like, "Oh, you got a weave today." I'm like, boy, I ain't got no weave. Because back in the day, my hair used to be really thick and nice. I'll pull out a picture on like a throwback Thursday. But, he'd be like, "Oh, you got a little weave." And I'm like, "Well, nah, I don't. This all me. This all me." But now your hands is in my hair. In hindsight, your hands in my hair. But me, I think everything funny. Child, I was just a sniggling, giggling dummy. Okay. Then it got to the point where he flat out came in my office, sat on my desk, and asked me, could he eat it? And guess what I did? You so crazy. Go do your work. You so crazy. You so crazy, MF for the death back in my day. Anytime I was uncomfortable, anytime someone said something to me that made me uncomfortable or pulled me out of my element or made me feel unsafe, you so crazy the hell out of them. You so crazy. Go do your work. Go. You don't you got a meeting to go to? You so crazy. You so crazy. But guess what I did? Kept coming to work every day. Guess why? Because this was the first job I had that paid $7 an hour, even though I had to ride 2 buses and catch a train to get to work because I wanted to keep the heat and the electric on for my kids. I was tired of playing camp with my kids because the power is out. So now we doing camp night. And we just going to use candles tonight because it's camp night. Or just having to pop up at somebody's house around dinner time just to say, "Hey, girl. Oh, no, I'm good. But if the kids want to eat, they can go ahead and eat." I was tired of that. I had got my first real job with an office and a desk. And okay, so what? My boss looked like a Teletubby and he being out of pocket or he's saying weird things to me. Okay, going forward, I can't be so nice. Just go do my job, minimize the conversation. Let's not have, I'm going to fall back from having lunch. I'm all right. I could be hungry. I just need to keep this job. Because I need this job. Now, I don't know what Mr. Derek Dixon's situation was, but I know what it is to put up with some BS to keep a job. After he came, so then I started doing like the little fallback or whatever. So after he flat out asked me, could he eat some cootie cat in my office on my desk? And I said, "Nah." You so crazy. Go to a meeting. Let me make these phone calls. I'm gotta catch up on my work. After that, whole attitude. It was like, shh. Now it's I've been checking so how many people did you call today? I see that we haven't collected anything of some of the, before that, I ain't had to collect shit. I wasn't collecting nothing. It wasn't no problem. But after you so crazy. And I guess embarrassing. Now he looking at my work with a fine tooth comb. Now I'm having meetings and getting warnings because I'm not collecting enough money. Now I got the stress on me of trying to become super skip tracer, super collector, because now his whole energy done changed. Because I'm trying to hang on to this job because I want to be able to buy my kids some shoes. I want to be able to keep the heat and the electric on at the same time. I'm not talking about no cable. I'm not talking about no telephone. I'm talking about the heat and the electric. So he start racking up my little warnings, and I'm not collecting this, that, and the third, and so on and so forth. Being cool. I never got asked to lunch again. Now all of a sudden he being cool, this, that, and the third. It got to the point where when I first started noticing like the flirting stuff, when I realized what was going on, I had started talking to some of the other ladies that was on the floor. They weren't in my office, but like they weren't a part of my company, but their offices were also on the floor. And I remember this sweet lady, Her name was Beverly. And she said, baby, don't close that office door no more. Like, they literally sat me down like, come on, daughter. And they got around me. They was like, don't close that door no more. He said, if he closed it, you open it back up. Don't close that door no more. From now on, you only wear pants to work. Like, they was like, you wear shoes that you capable. When I tell you, Miss Beverly was a Caucasian woman who talked like Flo on Alice. Remember, Kiss My Grits? She talked like Flo on Alice. And when I tell you, she was schooling me. And then that's when I was like, okay. So then I started like boom, 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 boom. And that day that he walked in there and closed that door behind him, because I had started keeping it open. And she would walk by, you all right in here? I'd be like, yes, Miss Beverly. Okay. And he closed that door, and that's when he asked, and he had some cootie cat. And I said, you so crazy. And people like, oh, Derek was down with that stuff. He was down with that stuff. Look at them text messages he was sending back to Tyler Perry. He was you so crazy in, because he liked this job on the Oval. I recognize a you so crazy when I see one. The only difference is I wasn't in a position to get an attorney. Oh, so long story less long, I got fired. On some BS trumped up allegations of not doing my job. And I promise you, it was less than 2 weeks after I was like, you so crazy. I was devastated. And I told everyone around me about what happened and how everything went down. But this was like a time period where, y'all know, back in the day, people wasn't suing about nothing, not us. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't necessarily suing. And I ain't know the first thing about trying to get no lawyer, or I didn't even know that it was a such thing as sexual harassment on the job. So I didn't know that I had options. I didn't know that I could have got an attorney or whatever. But then again, it would have been his word against mine, unless Miss Beverly and them was like, hey, she came and said something to me. You get what I'm saying? So let me tell you, the next time I saw him again, I ran into him when I was in the Kroger parking lot selling T-shirts to be able to feed my kids. So I feel like I'm about to cry. Hold on. Okay. And it's not about him. It's just, I just thought back to like that period of time when I was like doing whatever I got to do to be able to take care of my kids. I was standing up in a Kroger parking lot selling T-shirts, like trying to convince people to buy T-shirts. Child, they coming out with their groceries like, girl, what I need a goddamn T-shirt for? What's on the T-shirt? I was selling T-shirts like to try to feed my kids. I lost this job and I ran into him, and what made it so crazy was I'm like getting the T-shirts together and stuff, and I ain't even looking up, and I just saw feet, and I looked up and I was like, hi, excuse me, would you like to buy a T-shirt? He looked me dead in my face, and I looked him in his face. He started looking at the ground. He wasn't even man enough to look me in my face. I think the most I could muster up was like I don't even know. I don't know if I said the fuck. No, people weren't saying the fuck back then. I don't know what I said, but it was just like a reaction, like the hell, something. I don't know. But he just started looking at the ground and just started walking with his head down. Boy, that's one time I wish I had somebody that could have whooped his ass in that parking lot. Boy, I promise. Because I knew I would. I mean, he was built like a Teletubby, mixed, like maybe like a biracial Teletubby Ninja Turtle, but I wasn't in no position to beat no man. I had sense enough to know that. But so just saying, like, so I guess like when these lawsuits and things like that come along, some of them we can call BS, right? We can be like, okay, this smell like BS. But it's just certain things that like just hit me a little different. I know that haha you so crazy. I saw that haha you so crazy in Derek Dixon's text messages back and forth with him and Mr. Perry. So that's why I haven't written about it because I'm not in a place to judge. I'm not even in a place where I feel like I can even report it fairly because of what I've dealt with myself. And I said, and I told one of my friends, I was like, I'm gonna talk about this with the ICC friends and just kind of give them a different perspective. Just on the whole, and I know there are some people who like go along to get along, and like, you know, they setting a case up like, girl, watch, I'm gonna have a case next week. He gonna keep on. Well, that wasn't me, but I was going along to try to get along to take care of my kids. You know what I'm saying? So the thing that I'm most happy about is that I didn't do it and still fuck around and get fired because I don't want to keep it going, or something else, or it start escalating. Oh, I got a business partner. He want to meet you. Like, you just don't know what door you opening with these men. You just don't. But I will tell you that I did keep enough tabs to know that that business folded. It folded like laundry. I'm going to say maybe 2 months max after I left up out of there. The God ain't going to bless no mess. God not going to bless no mess. And all Monique had to do was chill in the cut, because people are getting tired of being mistreated. People are getting tired of the ghetto games, and they know that these lawsuits pay big if you get the right pony at the end of the deal. Because you let somebody with $35 in their pocket try me right now. You must want me to take 50. You get what I'm saying? People know, like, and people are fully aware that they have rights. They are fully aware that, oh, this is wrong. For all we know, Derek may have been going along to get along, because he said he loved that job and he wanted that job on that show. And he was probably hoping it would open other doors to other networks and other opportunities, maybe from TV to film and so on and so forth. And then when he ain't give up that booty do, and he got showed the door, he in Hollywood, he know he can file a lawsuit. I didn't know what my rights were. I didn't know that, but again, I was so young and naive. He knew that. So before you say somebody liked it, or somebody was going along with it until they couldn't get what they wanted and now they want to sue, the wrong person looking at my situation would have said the same thing about me. But how is it that I'm doing a great job all the way up until this particular day? This day, when I kept my legs closed, now all of a sudden I can't do this job right no more, and I ain't bringing in enough money, and I ain't calling enough people every day, and so on and so forth. Wherever that man is right now, I hope God is giving him the life that he deserves. And I really, really hope that he has found me and he sees me, because I'm in media. So I'm on the internet and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, or whatever. I hope he sees me and sees that I am okay, despite him trying to ruin me all those years ago. Yep. So thank you for coming to my therapy session. But yeah, I just want y'all to think about some things. Yeah, just think about some things. But I mean, my life is an open book to a certain point. And if anything has happened to me that I can share that is going to help someone else, help someone get out of a situation, help someone heal from a situation, or just let somebody know that they did not go through this by themselves, so be it. So be it. The only thing, I just try my best not to say nothing that's going to embarrass Destiny, because she's still a teenager. But my husband already know. He already know I'm an open book. He done read my book forwards and backwards. So it is what it is. But yeah, child, I done been through some B and some S. So, just with that being said, those are just some thoughts to think about. So, and I think I think because of the different things that I have experienced in my life, I think that's what gives me a different vantage point when I share my content. And I think that's what allows me to have empathy when I write these stories, or to have a different perspective, even if you don't agree with it, or even if you be like, now, Zavi, you on that bullshit. Like, yeah, I guess different things just have skewed the way I look at things. You know what I'm saying? So even the last time we went live and I talked about the Kirk dude, and just the whole perspective on that, I still had some racists pop up in the comments on YouTube, but I was like, hey, I'm in an open space, so I mean, sooner or later racists got to walk past my YouTube channel and see something and come in and say something crazy. But for the most part, everything was so positive, and everybody, it was the type of energy that this world needs. And then here come racist Ryan with his BS. And every time someone said, listen, if you come to my channel on YouTube and you say something mean or something crazy to me, all I'm going to do is tell you thanks for watching, because you already done gave me that view, boo-boo. So I don't care what you got to say to me on the back end. If it's not kind or respectful, I don't care. You already gave me the view, boo-boo. So I say thanks for watching. But anyway. All right. I had only meant to be on here for 1 hour, and I've been on here for 2 hours, but I told y'all I can talk. I can ramble with the best of them. But let me see some comments. Let's see. Best friend Lynette said, like I've always said, you're relatable. Real people like transparency. I admire you for that. Thank you, Bessie. And Shantae said, thank you for your transparency. Where did that go? Oh, there she is. Elena said it was therapy for all of us. Tanisha said, yes, Fran. Tabitha says, sad truths. Where did it go? This thing be moving. Hold on. There it is. Tabitha says, sad truths. Yeah, it is. I mean, Destiny said, say that, Fran. I think I said a lot, Destiny. People probably tired of me talking, but I just appreciate y'all coming in here. And let me see. Amy said, I want to come sit down with you over tea and just vent everything out, y'all. We'll both be in therapy with each other. I would absolutely love that. I am in Atlanta. If y'all are in Atlanta, or if y'all make y'all way to Atlanta, I will skirt on Tuesday. And me and Shantae need to do better, because Shantae down here. Me and Shantae, we need to do better. We need to do better, because Shantae, that's my baby. And she came all the way from the West Coast over here. So we need to do better. But listen, if you are in Atlanta, or if you come to the city for any reason, any way, shape, form, call me. I will put out extra blog posts so we can go eat somewhere real good. Destiny said we need a meet and greet. I would absolutely love that. Do y'all realize next month will be 15 years of Ice Cream Combos? October 8th is the 15th anniversary of Ice Cream Combos. That is nuts. That is nuts. The only thing that I have had for 15 years is my husband and my kids. Other than that, so Shantae says she's been in therapy herself. Listen, I definitely need to go talk to somebody who qualified. But in the meantime, I'm gonna talk to y'all. And is. But yeah. So other than that, I've been going to the gym. Just something to lift the what I said, the spirit was down to the flow. Yeah. So I've been going to the gym. And what else I gotta tell y'all? I received an interview request today to interview Nicole Brianna White, and she plays Little Meech's mom on BMF, and I love her. I've talked to her before, so I may be talking to her again soon. What else? Oh, Netflix just sent me the Vince Staples Show season 2. That is a great show. If you have Netflix, check it out. It is like that dry humor type of funny stuff. So yeah. Okay, and I think that's it. But just let me know how often you guys would like to go live. I know y'all can't sit up and dedicate 2 hours every night to me, but this was really fun just coming on, talking about different things. I know y'all, it was crazy. Let me tell y'all this, and I'm gonna let you go. When I first got on tonight's live, I was so nervous. I don't know why I was nervous, like job interview nervous. And then JB walked through and he was like, don't overthink it. You'll do a good job. I think when I do lives, my biggest fear is that nobody will show up and I'll just be talking to an empty room, because that happened to me before. I went live and nobody came in and I was so embarrassed. I just looked around and I just hit like end stream and closed it out. And my feelings was so hurt. But when I first started tonight's live, I think it didn't put out the alert to y'all. So it felt like for 5 to 10 minutes, I was just on here just talking to myself. And I was like, oh my God, nobody is coming. I was like, no. I was like, who gonna come to my live? Who? No. But anyway, and then y'all started coming in and I was like, oh, my people is here. Because as you can see, as the live went on, I like started like calming down a little bit and just settling in. But every time I first start a live, I be so nervous and be afraid I'm gonna mess up and I be weird and awkward. But so, okay, so Facebook friends, because I see a lot of you from Facebook. I think it was like only a few people from YouTube that came in. The majority of y'all are on Facebook. So few things. When I am on StreamYard, I cannot see, like if y'all give me stars or anything like that, I can't see it. And I felt really bad about the last live stream because a few of y'all gave me stars and I didn't acknowledge it. And I felt so bad, but this doesn't show me. It's not until I actually go log into Facebook that I can see that someone gave me stars. So I'm not being presumptuous. I think that's the right word. I pulled out a TI word on y'all asses. Okay, I'm not being presumptuous, but if by any chance y'all gave me some stars tonight, I'm not asking for them. It's not necessary, but if by any chance you did, thank you in advance. But it doesn't show me in real time, so I can give you a shout out like I usually do when I'm going live directly through Facebook. And then also, because someone gave me, I think, what is it called? A super chat on the last live through YouTube. YouTube will show me that. This will show me that. So then I was like, oh, thank you. And then I didn't say thank you to the people who gave me stars. And I just felt bad. I felt like I only had the YouTube people on the in memoriam and I had the rest of y'all on the ticker. Oh, that was so good. That was good. Now that, my friend, is called a callback. I learned that from Dave Chappelle. I don't know. Which one of y'all told me I might need to do stand-up? I don't know. I could do sit down on live, but I don't think I'm going to do good on stand-up, but I could do sit down on live. Yeah. See, that callback. That callback was fire, y'all, and y'all know it. A callback is when you talk about something in the beginning and then you get to the end and you tie it back to the beginning. That was good. That was good. So I ain't want my Facebook people to feel like they was on the ticker tape and the YouTube people was on the Summer Jam screen. So with that being said, I love all of you very much. Please follow me on TikTok, Ice Cream Convos, if you have not done so already, because let me see where we at. Let's do a live check-in. Let me see. Oh, I see something about Jamie Lee Curtis and Charlie Kirk. For y'all not to, never mind. I'm not going down that road. Y'all, look. 9905. I am officially under 100. I am less than 100 follows away from getting monetized on TikTok. OMG. Okay, y'all, we doing it. And my video that I did about Holly Robinson Pete and Danielle Spencer got 4,415 views. That's pretty good. Because see, Facebook be having me thinking all my videos flopped because I only be getting like 2 or 3 comments on it. But TikTok, yeah, baby, I got 4,415 views. Now, if I was monetized, that might have been a little coin. Might have been. I don't know. Can't call it. We're going to see. So yes, please follow me on TikTok. And if you are on Facebook, please follow me on YouTube. because if you subscribe to Ice Cream Convos on YouTube, when I go live, you will get a notification. If you don't have all notifications turned off on your phone, it will actually send you a notification so you'll know. And then that way you don't miss me. But I would at least like to try to go live a minimum of 3 times a week, maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or just if something good is going on and I feel like I can add to the conversation, we'll go live. But I definitely want to do it more often and give us the opportunity to just communicate, and I can share more stuff with y'all. You know what I mean? But I won't set out to do Teddy Ruxpin stories. If something is going on that is, and I have something in my life that is relevant to it, then I will go ahead and share. But I'm not going to come on like, okay, y'all, so 7 years ago, let me tell you about the time that I had to go to jail. Do y'all know the story about the time I went to jail? Do y'all know? Because I thought I told everybody about the time I went to jail, but some of y'all be in the comments sometimes and y'all be like, friend, you got to tell me about the time you went to jail. And I was like, I thought I told y'all. But if you missed it, maybe we'll work like a story time into. Okay, Tanisha says she know about the story. She know about the time I went to jail. Okay, Lynette know about the time I went to jail. Okay. I just needed y'all to know. Oh, Elena says she don't remember. Okay, so maybe we'll do like a story time or something one day this week. And you know what I'll do? I'll put out like 2 or 3 scenarios and y'all could pick which story time y'all want based off of some of the things. Tanisha said, I would like to hear it again. Sure. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to go for real because I'm just enjoying this way too much, especially just after I didn't have a good day today. And y'all know last week was trash. So this was a great way. Lynette said, I'm a thug. Oh, gosh. A sensitive thug. Because I'll fight you, but I'm going to cry in the car on the way home. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm about to pin curl my hair, and I have to watch the second episode of the morning show because Apple TV wants me to put out something about it before it comes out. Y'all, why I thought Apple TV sent me the whole season? That's what I get for trying to be all excited and jumping the gun. Girl, they only sent me 2 episodes. I'm all on social media like, I got the new season of the morning show. They was like, boo-boo, you get 2 episodes. Netflix is the only one that'll send you the whole kit and caboodle. Prime Video will send you the whole kit and caboodle. Apple said, baby, you get 2. Stop playing. No, they did give me the whole thing for Chief of War, but I ain't get a chance to watch it. So, okay. All right. Love y'all. Have a great night. Thank you again for spending this time with me. I love y'all so much. Y'all know y'all my best friends. And yeah. All right. So I'll just give you the heads up, put up the bat signal, let you know when I'll be going live. But make sure you subscribe to Ice Cream Convos on YouTube so you'll get that notification because I don't trust marking them no more. And don't. So just make sure y'all do that. Okay. All right. I love you guys very much. Have a great night.